of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'd like to call the August 22nd regular meeting of the Southwestern City School District Board of Education to order. Roll call.
Mr. Bosso.
Here.
Mr. Caldwell.
Here.
Ms. Martindale. Mr. Shriner.
Here.
Ms. Johnson.
Here. I need now a motion to adopt this evening's agenda.
Second, Shriner.
Great. Any additions to the agenda? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mr. Shriner.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes. Now I need a motion to approve the minutes from the August 8th meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. We need a second.
Second.
Mr. Caldwell. Any changes, any corrections? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mr. Shriner.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes. And now moving to presentations. Dr. Hayward, where we are with staffing.
Good evening, President Johnson, Vice President Caldwell, Dr. Wise, Mr. Gartside, and members of the board. This evening, I will be updating you on staffing for the 2022-2023 school year. When school starts this week, we will be fully staffed with certificated staff and working towards being fully staffed with classified positions. We now have approximately 2,700 employees in our district. This includes about 1,600 certificated, 1,000 classified, and 102 administrative employees. We have 38 retirements. These include 1 administrative retirement, 24 certificated, and 13 classified. We also had 124 resignations, 12 administrative, 95 certificated, and 17 classified. We have also filled 320 staffing positions. We have filled 12 administrative, 225 certificated, which also includes internal movement, leave of absence returns, displacements, and of course, the new hiring due to retirements and resignation. We also have filled 83 classified. We have 148 new faces to our district, 7 administrative, 113 certificated, and 28 classified. I would like to now move to certificated subs. At this time last year, we had 42 substitutes that were board approved. Following tonight's meeting, we will have 154 substitutes with 39 additional pending approval from the Ohio Department of Education. We will continue prioritizing the hiring of additional substitute teachers. One area of concern, though, in regards to substitute teachers is our ability to secure long-term subs. Long-term subs have additional responsibilities such as lesson plans, grading, parent-teacher conferences. Due to these additional responsibilities, we will be requesting to increase their pay from $145 a day to $155 a day. Our retirees that serve in long-term positions would also increase from $155 a day to $165 a day. This pay increase will help in attracting additional long-term sub positions since they are doing additional work. In conclusion, we will be continuing to monitor our enrollment numbers as we do yearly for the first couple weeks of school, and we will make any adjustments needed to best serve our students. Also, I would like to highlight our summer recruiting and retention updates. Our staff has worked really hard in job fairs. We recently had 2 for our classified in July. We have done a lot of reorganization and just signage and just making this place very inviting when we hire people. And so I just wanted to give you a small snapshot of that. Any questions for me? Thank you. Mr. Schreiner.
Yeah, not a question, just I'm happy to see that we're doing that. Having been a long-term sub coming back a year to help out, it's necessary. and especially at this time with recruitment. So, good.
Thank you.
Let me amplify a couple of pieces that Dr. Hayward talked about in her presentation. The incentives we have in place last year, we kept in place. Substitutes are a vital part of our ability to run the district. And so we want to value that, recognize the job market that folks are in, as well as the extra work that these long-term subs are. Just for clarification, long-term subs, when they take on those assignments, they all of a sudden get grades, less grades, they have meetings, and a variety of other things. And compensation really doesn't adjust until the 61st day in the same assignment. So this is really about that gap. Because at that 61st day, then they move to the regular salary schedule. So we think this will help us because, to be quite candid, we had several folks look at us last year and said, I'm not sure I'm willing to take on that commitment and the extra work, which yes, I understand. So this is an attempt to be fair to them and also fill our needs as well. It's not overly significant, but it's something to show that we value them, appreciate their extra work. So that would not require action at this time. We can either bring that forward for action, or when we just bring substitutes, we'll just go ahead and post it that way. With the moniker on that. So we'll take a look at what makes the most sense. Consistency standpoint. So we make sure Mr. Garside's authorized to pay him and doesn't have a problem with his office.
So after the 60 days, then the $10 kicks in.
No, what we're talking about is anybody who's willing to make a commitment to us for what we anticipate to be roughly 15 days or more. Well, if you say you'll do that, long-term sub gig for me, and we would tell you we anticipate this to be 3 weeks or more. If you say you're willing to do it, we'll kick in the $10. The 61st day, it actually moves to teacher. First bachelor zero and seller schedule.
Wherever they are.
So if they actually have more experience than that,
That's a higher vice code law. Southwestern, I think that's a statewide. Yeah.
and the hard part, when you look at several of those, doing maternity leave or somebody's out for knee surgery or something like that, they may only end up in that position for 8 days. And then if they go to another position that breaks that long-term sub, it all starts over. It's in the same position.
I think I'd say is the upgrades to DSC, as far as like the room that we use for our HR work now, much needed, looks great. Also like the photo that you had up there of the stuff that we're using in career fairs, really putting a good face on the district whenever we're going out to recruit. So I think all of that matters when we're trying to show people, who we are and why we should come. Great upgrades.
Thank you. Moving now to summer projects, Mr. Meadows.
All right. Well, good evening, President Johnson, Vice President Caldwell, Dr. Wise, Mr. Garside, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Property Services has been a very busy place this summer. Perhaps maybe up there with the busiest we've ever had. I know the middle schools are getting a lot of the spotlight and focus, but I'm going to kind of touch on, give you a snapshot of some of those areas outside of those extraordinarily large projects. So first off, we're going to hit up some of these ESSER dollars allowed us to do some of the projects we're going to see right now. So the Career Academy and Central Crossing got a full on, are in the process thereof. They're coming to a close now. Got a full HVAC renovation that included all devices, all controls, chillers. I mean, it's going to be a completely new system when they're all said and done. Those buildings were getting to a point of age where we felt the need to make this play to keep them in service for another 20 years. The rec centers then followed suit. They are getting a very similar protocol from there. They're getting all new ductwork, all new devices. And then we also decided, since we're tackling this project, to why not go ahead and air condition the gym space itself. That was a space that was left unconditioned, and it was basically just vented and exhausted to the outside. While we're on the rec center topic, we decided let's go ahead and get those roofs tackled. All three of those properties are 1986, and the roof was pretty original to construction. So we did a full construction scope there on the roofs. We removed all the metal material all the way down to the deck, and then came all the way back up. So when it's all said and done, it will be a roof that'll be 30+ year roof on those things. We won't have to touch it again for another 30 years. Then throughout the district, we just use, we're doing other miscellaneous roofing repairs where they're needed. some of the older sites. Something we did with our PI dollars this year is the Central Crossing tennis courts were in some need of repair. So we addressed some of those cracks, some of the failing asphalt was milled and filled and redone. We addressed some of the raising and hooving fence posts, and then something kind of unique that we were able to pull off there with the slate of stock colors that wasn't an upgrade. We were able to make that one school specific and kind of make it comet gray and blues. I mean, that turned out really well there, as you can see. So hopefully that kind of gives that tennis facility a good new look, and they can kind of get off and be in a good place moving forward. Westland's tennis courts were in a similar position.
And they're already green.
Yeah, what do you know? Stock tennis works. It works out there, right? So we did a very similar scope out here, a little less involved. They weren't in quite the shape that Centrals were, but as you can see, the results speak for themselves. They both turned out fantastic. So the transportation lot out there, this is year 2 of kind of a 3-year phased kind of lot improvement out there. The goal here was to get it to a more substantial, a more substantial kind of lot to park on. All asphalt and a multi-ton vehicle staying put all summer doesn't really mesh. So we went under all the parking with a roller compacted concrete. That's all the white areas you see. So everything you see white is where the buses actually park themselves, and the lanes and drives are done with a heavy duty asphalt. So when we get to the third part, one more phase of this, that lot will be complete out there. It will be under every parked bus will be a concrete surface that'll last for years, and all of the asphalt, catch basins, drainage, all of that will be redone at the end of next summer. This was phase 2. So some of the other odds and ends we're able to do, a lot of these touch some on chiller, some on ESSER dollars, some on PI funds. So we are in the process of getting all the chillers at the intermediates replaced. And that's mainly due to their age. They're coming along that 20-some-year-old Mark II, where a lot of those big things like that tend to fail. So we're going ahead and being proactive on that. We're putting all new chillers in those facilities. Then we maintain, miscellaneous sidewalks throughout every summer. That's just something that we do. We go through, we look at trip hazards, cracking, curbs, a lot of those things. At the intermediate schools as well, we're going to go through and we are sealing and striping all the intermediate schools, with the exception of Hayes, just because right now it's got a construction project going on there. So it would not make sense to seal and stripe that now. We'll push that to next summer. And then we're continuing our playground, kind of our elementary playground kind of revamps there. A lot of those have done away with the rubber particulated mulch, and we've gone to a hard Burke playground tile. This will be round 4 or 5 in that project to get 3 more buildings off the table. And I anticipate maybe being able to wrap those up next summer. I think they will all be then retrofitted with that harder Burke tile, and that's a much better, cleaner, nicer looking. It's just everything about that surface is better than that particulated mulch. You guys have any questions for me?
I think you skipped the slide on the audio visual.
Oh, did I? I didn't. Yep. I didn't see it pop up there. My bad. So all of the high schools, so with the exception of Franklin Heights, they're getting cabled and new cameras systems going on this summer. The cabling was complete. And now we're waiting on the cameras to come in. We're kind of work around some of those school hours, and we're going to get those cameras installed. It'll be a significant upgrade to those older sites. In all of the auditoriums, even including Heights, we're doing a theatrical and house lighting upgrade, as long with a sound upgrade as well. New projectors, new speakers, new lighting. It's going to really bring those up to the next level. Bring them kind of out of the dark ages, so to speak, and back to where we want them to be moving forward. You'll see the biggest improvement at the older 2 schools, to be honest with you. Yeah.
The security cameras, is that all exterior?
Those are, it's everything, interior, exterior, it's a full package. So yeah, they're done running their miles of cabling, I'm sure. And they're getting to a point now where cameras should start to go in here soon.
Most of it's moved from analog to digital.
You're correct. Yeah.
So that'll help with, quality of picture.
Yeah, because
Right.
you're exactly right. The thing we run into nowadays is you'll catch something on camera, but it might be too far away or just out of angle, and it's difficult to really piece together what happened anyway. So this is in an effort to improve that.
It goes without saying that our new schools have gotten a lot of advertisement and our dedications, and what a fantastic job. I know we all we're there and we agree. But what doesn't get enough, if you've been in the other schools that
Sure.
we have, and we've done that at a number of facilities, they look fantastic. So please pass on to your folks
Oh, I
what a
will, for sure.
great job they do.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
They look, some of them look brand new, and it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
As Mark said before he goes, we'll be back in September with the architect to talk about to close the construction of the 4 middle schools and the Jackson Division. So I want to focus tonight as much on the PI and ESSER funds as much as possible. We are grateful to the community for their support several years ago that gave us dedicated dollars for permanent improvements. And we've tried to use those well. And it's not a great comparison, but numbers are hard sometimes to keep in scope. Your rough budget on these types of things, if I'm right, is somewhere in that $1 million mark.
Yep.
Give or take. I mean, turn that into median family income and median family. What we said is we just gave you about $200 to $300 for the entire year for improvements. And now we have the blessing of we have many maintenance staff that can do the work, so we don't pay the labor.
Yep.
For a lot of work. But when you think about your own home and trying to do improvements for $200, $300, $400 for the year, that doesn't go far in today's world. Likewise, spending the $1 million we do on our 32 facilities and 600 acres doesn't go very far as well. So we try to be very frugal, but very thoughtful as we spend that money and make the most use of that. And we think it's important every year to make sure that we communicate back how those dollars are being spent, so that people understand what we're trying to do.
We are lucky enough to have some really specialized labor and also some really good partners of the district that, really take care of us. So, yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Moving now to items for action. The first, students, school, community. Mr. Caldwell reporting for Mrs. Martindale.
President Johnson, on behalf of Ms. Martindale, I'm going to do a report tonight. We have one item on the agenda tonight for students, schools, and community. Jackson Middle School students are going to travel to Washington, D.C. And having reviewed that item, recommend it for its passage to do so at this time.
Thank you. We need a second.
Second, Shriner.
Thanks. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mr. Shriner.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes. And now moving to personnel, Mr. Shriner.
Thank you, President Johnson. On the board agenda this evening are 7 personnel items involving 139 persons. This includes 4 certificated resignations, 1 administrative employment, 1 certificated change in employment status, 86 certificated employments, 5 classified resignations, 9 classified changes in employment status, and 33 classified employments. After reviewing these action items, I move them for passage at this time.
Okay, we need a second.
Second.
Any questions?
I just want to make one comment. Just again, thanks to our personnel department. Seems like even up to the last minute, you're working to make sure that we have the staff we need to get the school year started, and we appreciate that. So, thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Shriner.
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes. Are there any board items this evening? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. We need a second.
Second that.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes.
Mr. Shriner.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes. Thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.